guys, this is Nicole again from Spiritual Thoughts, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about some concepts that just trip me out. Some of my favorite things to think about to trip me out and get the spiritual thoughts flowing. I get a lot of these just submitted to me in messages every day on my Instagram, so I thought that I'd sit down and share some of them with you. And some of these are things that I have been thinking about even way before I made my Instagram, back in the day when I was in middle school, just a little youngin' thinking about life. Well, I guess I still am a youngin' thinking about life. So let's get started with the first one, which is, what was going on before we were born? Take a minute and think. Can you remember what it was like before you even came into existence? Or better yet, what if we could remember when we were in our mother's stomach and the process of being born and our early year and all of that jazz? That would be even more trippy. And I always think about that. I always think about what the heck was going on before we were born. Because a lot of people just describe it as a blackness or nothingness, but if you believe in past lives, you could say that you just don't remember your past life, or yeah, it's just, there's so many options to think about. It's interesting. The next one is about colors. And colors have always tripped me out so much. They just boggle my mind. Every time I thought about colors when I was little, I would always wonder if there was colors that we didn't know about or colors that we just couldn't see. And as I've gotten older and done more research, I have found out that because of the cones and rods in our eyes, there are in fact colors that we can't see. Oh, hello cat. So there are tons of colors on the spectrum that we can't see, just like there are vibrations and things that we can't see. Oh, hello Grace. Oh shit. Like, and also, do cats see the same colors as us? I just wonder. Like, what is she seeing right now? That's another thing. Like, what are animals thinking about? If they don't think in language, what are they thinking? Just like babies. They just think in emotions. I love you. What are you thinking about? Nothing? Yeah. So I always wonder that about animals. Okay, you can leave now. Oh, she wants to stay. Well, yeah. So I always think about that. And also, what if people see colors differently? What if my blue isn't the same as your blue? What if the way that I see red is completely different from the way someone else sees red? That would be super interesting to know, but I guess there would be no way to find out unless I had your eyes and your brain, which is another creepy thing to think about. The next thing that I have been thinking about for years is just the concept of time and how we perceive it to be linear. So when I was younger, I would always think about time and if it was even real, and the fact that time is different depending on your perception, how sometimes 5 minutes might feel like an hour and an hour might feel like 5 minutes, and the trippy idea that animals don't have clocks. They don't need to keep a time, they don't need to know the number of the hour, of the day, of the year. They don't need to know all of that. And it's crazy how humans need to know all of that in order to carry out our daily lives. It just makes you wonder if the way that humans live is sustainable, and if we have strayed so far away from our animal nature that counting time is just an illusion. And I have gone into so many tangents of thought about time and how time might actually be a loop and we might actually be experiencing things multiple times, which might explain deja vu. Yeah, leave in the comments below. This is one of my favorite topics to think about, talk about, is time. The next thing that I always think about, which kind of stems off of my last topic, is deja vu. Now, when I was younger, I would get deja vu all the time, and I still do quite frequently, but all of the people that I have talked to about this are convinced that deja vu is time looping back on itself. So if I can visualize this for you. Time was this piece of paper, and we are here, and the past is here. Time can fold back on itself. So then you can go through to each point, and they're folding back on itself. This can also explain how portals work, how a lot of different theories work, but someone explained deja vu to me in this manner that when you're in a deja vu, you're just falling through one of these holes. Deja vu would be like you, this paper is so thick, going through one of these holes. So then in the actual space-time continuum, you're in both places at once. So that's why sometimes you might feel like, hey, I've done this before, or I've been in this exact moment in the future and in the past. Sometimes deja vus get seriously weird, but that is one theory on it. The next concept that I think is truly crazy to think about is where consciousness lies in our body physically. Now, if you think about where your seat of consciousness lies, usually people would say right in between their eyes and a little bit back, like that's where you are sitting. So I always wonder, why is it that we associate our consciousness with the place in the middle of our brain? A lot of people would say that this is where a very important gland is located, and a lot of people say that that's just where the spirit molecule comes from. And I am not really sure myself, but it is so interesting to think about where consciousness comes from, the fact that we are aware and conscious of what's happening, and the fact that we are different from, say, a rock or a tree. And we might not really know that. I mean, maybe they're conscious, but definitely not on a level that we are. And it's just kind of crazy to think about how the universe just kind of threw consciousness into existence, and we are literally the universe experiencing itself through our own perception, our own individual perception. Also, the thought that consciousness might be linked together, like we might have a collective consciousness that is located somewhere far beyond our understanding, that we might all be sharing one common consciousness that is simply branching off into separate, unique identities. This is also such a strange concept, and one that I love to think about. The concept that we are all linked by one consciousness, and we are simply a drop in the ocean, or a wave of the ocean, simply a part of the greater whole. The next trippy concept is, are dreams actually just an extension of life? Now, I guess you could say yes they are, and no they aren't. Since dreams don't actually affect the physical world and our physical bodies, you could say no, but you could say yes because dreams are actually being experienced by us. We get emotions through them. Feel like we are actually there. And to me, dreams are actually a part of reality, in my opinion. And it's a super trippy concept to wonder if dreams are actually just an extension of reality. And when we go into our dreaming state, we're actually just continuing out another life that we've been living for who knows how long. Scientists have yet to come to a solid conclusion on why we dream and the biological need for dreaming, so maybe the need for it is that it actually is life. And in dreams, the same laws and principles that guide this universe don't exist there. Maybe that's just a parallel universe, or like I was talking about earlier with the holes. Maybe dreams are just a mirror of our reality, just scattered by our own perception. And the final thing in this video that I will be talking about is what is the next phase of evolution for humans? So if you believe in evolution, then you believe that humans have evolved over millions of years and we weren't always like this. So that kind of makes me wonder what would be the next phase of evolution. A lot of people say that that would be raising our consciousness, going from this point in reality to the higher plane of existing with love, peace, having a more higher knowledge, having a more open mind, being more peaceful, and all of that stuff. But I have to wonder if it includes some more physical changes. Like, what if we grow extra limbs, or if we get extra sensory perception, things like that. I just wonder when evolution will happen, and if it's already taking place now, just as the disguise of differences that we might look down upon as a society, and if that's really just humanity evolving and becoming something new. So leave comments below about these thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on all of these topics and what other topics I should talk about in a future video like this. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that this got you thinking. Always sending you my love, and I will see you in the next video.